Loyalty is one of the most powerful expressions of love, trust, and commitment. It is the foundation of every meaningful relationship, the quiet force that holds people together through life's ups and downs. But loyalty is often misunderstood. Some see it as blind devotion, others as an obligation, and many fail to realize that true loyalty is not just about being faithful to someone else, it is about being faithful to yourself first. Loyalty is not just a one-time promise, it is a daily choice. It is not merely about words, but about actions that reinforce trust. It is tested not in moments of ease, but in moments of difficulty, when no one is watching, when temptation arises, when circumstances challenge the strength of your commitment. And above all, loyalty is not a sacrifice of self-worth, it is a reflection of it. In this journey, we will explore what true loyalty means, why it must be built on mutual respect, why it should never be blind, why it reflects our own self-respect, and how it is tested in the moments we least expect. Because in the end, loyalty is not just about remaining devoted to someone else. It is about remaining true to the values that define who we are. Loyalty is not something you declare once and then forget about. It is a continuous, evolving commitment that requires attention, effort, and intentionality every single day. It is not a grand proclamation made in the heat of passion or a promise written in stone that never needs revisiting. Rather, it is a living, breathing testament to your values, your integrity, and your dedication to the people you hold dear. Think about the relationships that truly last, the ones that withstand the trials of time, the challenges of life, and the inevitable changes that come with growth. These relationships are not built on one-time decisions. They are not held together by a single moment of commitment, but rather by an ongoing series of choices, small, everyday choices that reaffirm the bond, strengthen the trust, and deepen the love between two people. Loyalty is choosing to be present, even when life gets overwhelming. It is choosing to listen when you are exhausted, choosing to be patient when your frustration is rising, choosing to understand rather than assume, choosing to stand beside your partner even when things are not easy. Loyalty does not take a day off. It does not go on vacation. It does not get put on hold when circumstances shift or when temptations arise. It is a discipline, a practice, an intentional way of loving and honoring another person. Every single day, we are faced with decisions that test our loyalty. Sometimes these decisions are small and seemingly insignificant, responding to a flirtatious message, entertaining a negative thought about your partner, neglecting to show appreciation, failing to communicate openly. Other times, the choices are much bigger, whether to prioritize your relationship in times of stress, whether to stand by your partner when they are struggling, whether to remain faithful not just in action, but in heart and mind. The truth is, loyalty is not only about avoiding betrayal, it is about actively choosing to nurture trust, to protect the bond you have built, and to reinforce your commitment through consistent, loving actions. Many people believe loyalty is tested in grand moments of temptation or difficulty, but in reality, loyalty is tested in the quiet, ordinary moments of life. It is tested when no one is watching, when there are no immediate consequences, when making the right choice feels inconvenient or unnecessary. It is in those moments that true character is revealed, that true commitment is solidified. A person who is truly loyal does not need to be reminded, does not need to be supervised, does not need to be convinced. They choose loyalty because it is part of who they are, because they understand that love is not sustained by words alone, but by action, by intention, by consistency. A one-time promise of loyalty means little if it is not followed by daily reinforcement. Words can be beautiful, but they hold no power unless they are backed by behavior. You cannot say you are loyal and then fail to show up when your partner needs you. You cannot claim commitment and then fail to protect a relationship from distractions. You cannot declare love but refuse to do the work required to sustain it. Loyalty is not about grand gestures made once in a while. It is about the little things done repeatedly, the daily affirmations of faithfulness, the ongoing commitment to choose the person you love over and over again. And let's be clear, loyalty is not just about remaining physically faithful. True loyalty is emotional, mental, and spiritual. It means keeping your partner's best interests at heart, respecting their trust, and valuing your connection enough to guard it against anything that could weaken it. It means prioritizing the relationship even in your thoughts, not entertaining fantasies of alternatives, not allowing resentment to build, not seeking validation from outside sources when challenges arise. Loyalty also requires effort, and effort is not always easy. There will be days when you feel frustrated, when you question things, when life pulls you in different directions. But loyalty means making the choice, even on those days, to work through the struggles rather than walk away. It means communicating rather than shutting down, reaffirming your love rather than letting doubts fester. It means remembering why you chose this person in the first place and choosing them again, despite the difficulties, despite the imperfections, despite the inevitable ups and downs of any real relationship. What many people fail to realize is that loyalty is not just about the relationship, it is about who you are as a person. The way you show up in your relationship is a direct reflection of your values, your integrity, and your sense of self-respect. A person who is truly loyal is loyal not just because they feel obligated, but because they understand that their own actions define their character. They are not loyal because someone is watching, because they fear consequences, or because they feel pressured. They are loyal because that is the standard they hold for themselves, because they value honesty, because they want to build something that lasts, something that is real, something that is rooted in trust. Loyalty is not about perfection. There will be mistakes, missteps, and moments of weakness. But true loyalty is about the willingness to recognize those moments, to correct them, to recommit, and to keep choosing love over and over every single day. Because in the end, it is not the one-time promises that define a relationship, it is the daily choices that sustain it. Loyalty is not something you simply speak about, it is something you prove through action, through consistency, through the choices you make every single day. It is easy to say, I'm loyal, easy to make promises, easy to declare love and devotion. But words, as powerful as they can be, mean nothing if they are not backed by behavior. Loyalty is not about what you say. It is about what you do, especially when no one is watching, especially when the moment calls for integrity rather than convenience. Too often, people believe that loyalty is a verbal contract, something that can be stated once and then assumed to last indefinitely. They say the right things, they make the right declarations, but when life presents challenges, when situations become uncomfortable, when temptation arises, their actions reveal a different truth. Real loyalty does not exist in words alone. It is demonstrated in the choices made when no one is keeping score, in the quiet moments when you have the opportunity to honor or betray the trust of the one you love. A person who is truly loyal does not just say, I will always be here for you, but actually shows up when they are needed. They do not just promise to be faithful, but live in a way that protects the relationship from anything that could cause harm. They do not just talk about commitment, but actively invest in their partner's well-being, their emotional security, their sense of trust and safety. Loyalty is not about making promises, it is about fulfilling them, about proving through consistent effort that you are someone who can be counted on. Think about how many times people have been hurt, not by words, but by actions. Someone said they would never lie, but they did. Someone promised to always choose you, but they entertained distractions. Someone swore they would never leave, but they slowly withdrew, emotionally or physically. The truth is, loyalty is not about saying what someone wants to hear. It is about being the person they can trust, without question, without hesitation. Trust is not built on words, it is built on evidence. It is built on a pattern of behavior that reinforces belief in someone's reliability, someone's integrity, someone's ability to hold space for love and commitment. Loyalty is revealed in the smallest moments. It is in how you protect your partner's name when they are not around, how you resist the urge to entertain attention that does not belong to you, how you choose honesty even when a lie would be easier. It is in the way you prioritize their feelings, in the way you communicate openly, in the way you show them through action that they are safe with you. Because loyalty is not about dramatic declarations. It is about the everyday proof that you will not waver, that you will not choose convenience over commitment, that you will not let temporary emotions override permanent values. It is easy to say, I love you. It is easy to say, I would never hurt you. But what happens when circumstances test those words? When you are tired, when you feel unappreciated, when someone else tries to get your attention, when your partner is struggling and needs you in ways that require patience. Do your actions align with your promises? Do you still prioritize their feelings? Do you still choose them when no one would know if you didn't? Because loyalty is not about being faithful only when it is easy. It is about being faithful even when it is hard. Loyalty is not passive. It requires effort, discipline, and self-awareness. It requires making conscious choices to protect the relationship, to nurture trust, to ensure that your partner never has to question where they stand with you. It means not just avoiding betrayal, but actively strengthening the bond you share. It is not enough to say, I would never hurt you. Loyalty means living in a way that makes that statement true, in every moment, in every situation, without exception. Real loyalty is not performative. It is not about grand gestures designed to impress. It is not about telling the world how committed you are. It is about showing your partner consistently in ways that matter. It is about being steady, reliable, unwavering. It is about proving time and time again that your word is backed by action, that your promises are not empty, that your love is not conditional. At the end of the day, words can be spoken by anyone. But actions? Actions do not lie. Actions tell the truth, even when words try to disguise it. Actions reveal character, integrity, and sincerity. And in love, in trust, in relationships that are meant to last, it is not words that matter most, it is the actions that stand behind them. Loyalty is not tested when everything is easy, when love feels effortless, when the world is watching and expecting you to do the right thing. Loyalty is tested in the dark when no one is looking, when temptations whisper instead of shout, when life presents choices that no one else will ever know you made. It is in those quiet, unguarded moments that the true depth of a person's loyalty is revealed. It is easy to be loyal when circumstances demand it. When you are in front of your partner, when your commitment is being observed, when you are surrounded by accountability, doing the right thing does not feel like a challenge. But real loyalty? Real loyalty is tested in moments of solitude, in the spaces where no one is keeping track, where your choices are entirely up to you. That is when loyalty becomes real, not when it is being rewarded, not when it is being praised, but when it is being challenged by the absence of immediate consequences. Consider the nature of trust. Trust is not about believing in someone when they are in your presence. It is about believing that they will honor your relationship even when they are alone. A person can say, I am loyal over and over, but those words mean nothing if, when faced with an opportunity to betray that loyalty, they take it simply because no one would ever find out. That is why loyalty in the dark is more valuable than loyalty in the light, because it is in the unseen moments that a person's true integrity is revealed. There will always be moments in life where temptation appears, where outside influences test the strength of commitment, where emotions and impulses make betrayal seem justifiable. But a truly loyal person does not waver, not because they fear getting caught, not because they are bound by obligation, but because they understand that their loyalty is a reflection of their character. They remain faithful not because they have to, but because they choose to, even when no one would ever know the difference. Loyalty is also tested in times of hardship. When love is easy, when the connection is strong, when happiness flows effortlessly, loyalty feels natural. But what about when challenges arise? When your partner is struggling emotionally, when conflicts make communication difficult, when life pulls you in different directions? That is when loyalty is truly measured, not when you feel like being devoted, but when you choose to be, even when love feels heavy instead of light. It is in the dark moments when misunderstandings happen, when distance grows, when frustration sets in, that loyalty has the chance to prove itself. Does your commitment hold strong, or does it falter when tested? Do you stand by your partner when they are not at their best, or do you withdraw? Because loyalty in that moment requires effort. Do you protect their heart even when you are upset? Or do you allow frustration to justify words and actions that damage trust? True loyalty does not waver when emotions change, when circumstances shift, when another option presents itself. It does not seek escape when things get difficult, does not allow temptation to rewrite its values, does not use the absence of immediate consequences as an excuse for disloyalty. It is easy to be loyal when things are perfect, but real commitment is proven in how you show up when things are imperfect. Loyalty is also tested in how you handle private thoughts and interactions. Some betrayals are loud and obvious, but others are subtle, beginning in the mind long before they ever manifest in actions. Entertaining distractions, engaging in emotional connections that do not belong in the relationship, allowing small disrespects to creep in, all of these are tests of loyalty that happen quietly in ways that may never be seen but will always be felt. A person who is truly loyal does not need an audience. They do not require supervision to remain faithful. They are not only committed when it is easy, when it is convenient, when their relationship is thriving. They are committed because they understand that loyalty is not just about honoring their partner, it is about honoring themselves. It is about being the kind of person who stands by their word, who protects what they value, who refuses to let a fleeting temptation or a moment of weakness define their integrity. Loyalty in the light is expected. Loyalty in the dark is what truly matters. Because at the end of the day, true commitment is not about what you do when everyone is watching. It is about what you do when no one is. Loyalty is often misunderstood. People think it means unwavering devotion, staying committed no matter what, standing by someone even when they do not deserve it. But real loyalty is not. Blinded is not about ignoring red flags, tolerating disrespect, or losing yourself in the process of proving your commitment. True loyalty is built on mutual respect, on a foundation where both people honor, value, and uplift each other. Loyalty is not about sacrificing your dignity for the sake of another person. It does not mean staying silent when you are being mistreated or turning a blind eye to actions that betray the trust in your relationship. Some people mistake loyalty for submission, for blind obedience, for an obligation to stay regardless of how they are treated. But loyalty that is one-sided, that demands you to compromise your self-worth, is not loyalty, it is self-betrayal. Respect is the heart of true loyalty. When two people truly respect each other, loyalty comes naturally. It is not forced, it is not demanded, it is simply the result of a deep, mutual understanding that both individuals are equally valued. When respect is present, there is no need for manipulation, no need for ultimatums, no need to prove yourself over and over again. Instead, there is a shared commitment to honoring one another, to showing up with honesty, to maintaining trust through actions rather than empty words. Loyalty thrives in an environment where both people feel safe. Safe to express themselves, safe to be vulnerable, safe to trust that their love and commitment will not be taken for granted. But when there is no respect, loyalty becomes a burden instead of a bond. It becomes something that one person is expected to give while the other takes it for granted. That is not how true commitment works. Loyalty is not about one person carrying the weight of the relationship while the other does as they please. It is about both people choosing each other day after day with equal effort, with equal care, with equal respect. A relationship that demands loyalty without offering respect in return is not love, it is control. Love does not ask you to stay in a place where you feel unheard, undervalued, or mistreated. Love does not make you feel like your devotion is being used against you. A truly loyal person does not expect blind allegiance while failing to reciprocate it. Instead, they meet you where you are, they honor your trust, they protect your heart as much as you protect theirs. Loyalty is also about accountability. It is not about enabling bad behavior or pretending everything is fine when it is not. Real loyalty means standing up for what is right, even within the relationship. It means having the courage to say, I love you, but I will not allow myself to be disrespected. It means recognizing that love and loyalty are strongest when both people hold themselves to the same standard. when both are willing to put in the work, when both are committed to protecting what they have built. Respect and loyalty also means allowing each other the space to grow. True loyalty is not possessive, it does not suffocate, it does not demand control, it does not use love as a leash. It understands that in order for a relationship to thrive, both individuals need the freedom to evolve, to pursue their dreams, to maintain their sense of self. Loyalty should never mean losing your identity. It should never mean giving up your voice or abandoning your needs just to keep the peace. Instead, it should be a partnership where both people support one another's growth, where both feel empowered rather than diminished. At the core of it all, loyalty is a two-way street. It cannot be one person giving endlessly while the other takes advantage. It cannot be a commitment that only holds weight when it is convenient. It cannot be something that is expected but not given in return. Real loyalty stands on a foundation of fairness, of kindness, of shared values. It is built on the understanding that both people are equally important, that both deserve to feel secure, that both deserve to be treated with dignity. Loyalty is not meant to be blind, it is meant to be clear-eyed and conscious. It is meant to be rooted in love that is healthy, in respect that is unwavering, in a partnership that uplifts rather than drains. When loyalty is real, it does not need to be begged for, does not need to be proven over and over again, does not feel like a sacrifice. It feels like a natural expression of love, a deep commitment between two people who cherish and honor each other fully. Because in the end, loyalty is not about staying no matter what, it is about choosing each other again and again, with mutual love, with mutual respect, and with the kind of devotion that does not require one person to lose themselves in order to keep the other. Loyalty is not just about how you treat others, it is a direct reflection of how you value yourself. The way you uphold your commitments, the way you protect the trust placed in you, and the way you honor your relationships all stem from the level of respect you have for yourself. When you truly respect yourself, loyalty is not something you struggle to maintain, it becomes a natural extension of who you are. It is woven into the choices you make, the boundaries you set, and the way you navigate your relationships. A person who has deep self-respect does not betray the people they care about, not because they fear consequences, but because they understand that their actions define their character. They know that their word holds weight, that their integrity is something they must protect, and that being loyal is not just about being good to others, it is about being true to themselves. They do not allow momentary temptations, fleeting emotions, or external influences to dictate their actions. Instead, they hold themselves to a higher standard, knowing that loyalty is not just about commitment to another persona, it is about commitment to their own principles. When you truly respect yourself, you do not engage in behaviors that compromise your values. You do not entertain distractions that could harm your relationship. You do not make excuses for dishonesty or disloyalty. You do not allow yourself to be swayed by temporary desires when you know they will lead to long-term regret. Because loyalty is not just about external circumstances, it is about internal discipline, about knowing that your choices define you, and about being proud of the way you move through the world. Self-respect also means understanding that loyalty is a two-way street. A person who values themselves does not remain loyal to someone who repeatedly disrespects them, takes them for granted, or fails to reciprocate the same level of commitment. True loyalty is never about tolerating mistreatment or staying in situations where your worth is ignored. It is about honoring yourself enough to expect the same level of loyalty that you give. When you have self-respect, you recognize that your devotion should not be wasted on those who do not appreciate it. You understand that loyalty should be a bond of mutual trust, not an obligation that keeps you stuck in a relationship that no longer serves you. There is a quiet confidence in someone who is truly loyal, because their commitment does not come from fear, insecurity, or desperation. It comes from a deep understanding that their loyalty is a reflection of their own integrity. They do not need to prove anything to anyone, they remain loyal because it aligns with who they are. They know that their ability to be faithful, trustworthy, and consistent is a reflection of their inner strength. They do not allow situations or circumstances to dictate their values because their self-respect keeps them grounded. Loyalty is also about the way you handle your relationships in moments of distance or disagreement. A person with self-respect does not speak negatively about their loved ones behind their backs, even when they are upset. They do not seek validation from others by disrespecting the person they claim to love. They do not betray trust in small, subtle ways, believing that minor disloyalties do not count. Because true self-respect means holding yourself accountable, even when no one else is watching. It means staying true to your principles, even when emotions make it tempting to do otherwise. It means understanding that every choice you make, big or small, reflects the kind of person you are. A person who respects themselves also understands that loyalty is not just about their romantic relationships. It extends to their friendships, their family, and even their professional life. They are the kind of person who can be counted on, who follows through on their promises, who does not waver in their commitments. They do not switch sides based on convenience, do not abandon people when they are no longer useful, do not betray trust just because they think they can get away with it. Their loyalty is rooted in their own sense of self-worth, in their belief that their integrity is not something they are willing to compromise. When you have true self-respect, loyalty is not something you struggle to maintain because it is a part of who you are. You do not see commitment as a burden, but as a privilege. You do not see faithfulness as a sacrifice, but as a reflection of your values. You do not seek shortcuts or justifications for disloyalty because you understand that every decision you make shapes the person you are becoming. You hold yourself to a standard, not because anyone else is watching, but because you are watching. You remain true not because you have to, but because you refuse to be anything less than the person you respect. Loyalty is not just a promise, it is a reflection of who we are at our core. It is not a passive commitment, but an active choice made every day, in both the light and the dark, in moments of ease and moments of challenge. It is a force built not on blind devotion, but on mutual respect, on integrity, on the deep understanding that trust is fragile and must be protected. True loyalty is not about words alone. It is about actions that prove devotion even when no one is watching. It is about standing firm in commitments, not because of obligation, but because of the values we hold within ourselves. It is not tested when everything is perfect, but when temptation, difficulty, and uncertainty arise. It is a reflection of self-respect, of the boundaries we uphold, of the standards we refuse to compromise. Loyalty should never be an expectation without reciprocation. It should never be demanded without being earned. It should never come at the cost of one's dignity, self-worth, or peace of mind. True loyalty flourishes in relationships built on mutual trust, in connections where both people choose each other not because they have to, but because they want to. At its core, loyalty is not just about remaining faithful to someone else. It is about remaining faithful to the values that define who we are. It is about choosing integrity over convenience, commitment over impulse, and respect over selfishness. And when we embrace this understanding, we cultivate relationships that are not just strong, but unshakable bonds that withstand the test of time, because they are rooted in something deeper than mere words. They are rooted in trust, in honor, in the kind of love and commitment that does not need to be questioned because it is felt, lived, and proven every single day.